Hey, I'm Scott.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Doxologic, where we help you think with your Bible.
Okay, the next question. We've got a few over some time about this particular show, so I'm happy that we're making our way through the list and addressing it now. The question reads like this. I've been told that the show The Chosen is a false gospel and I should not watch it. Is this something as Christians we should be careful about watching?
Have you watched any of it?
I haven't.
I have.
Honesty time. Come out with it. No, so have I.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Not all of it. I've watched.
I think a few episodes.
Yeah, I've watched
the first
I watched the first season. I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes of the second season. So just where I'm at, you're at. You haven't watched it yet. I did listen to an interview by Dallas Jenkins. Right, he's the director.
creator.
Interview that Allie Beth Stuckey did, and you know I follow a lot of her podcast episodes. Appreciate her very much, and her interview with him was pretty revealing. I would say be cautious. At the very least, be cautious. I would not argue with anyone that chose to just full on walk away from it and not watch it. There are some tendencies in the show, as I've heard, that toward what I'll call kind of syncretism, a friendliness toward to combine things that are not Christian with things that are, to combine some
Mormon's view of Jesus with the Christian
There are
Orthodox
Mormons
view.
that work on the show, which, listen, a person in a certain role working on a show as a cameraman, I'm not going to argue with that, but if it's a writer, if it's an influencer of what the show is, it's just red alarm. And so whether it's certain Catholic leanings, Mormon leanings, and things like that, I don't know much enough about Dallas Jenkins to make some kind of judgment call, but he outed himself in a couple of points in that interview that I would just say, if you're not aware of why it's a controversy and you just purely love the show, okay, listen to something like that and understand that while he'll come off quite smooth, he got tripped up in some stuff about Mormonism that Allie Beth Stuckey did a nice job differentiating from him, and I think it's worth listening to.
I'll just add a piece to that and not reiterate what you've said. I've heard similar things in similar interviews, not just the Allie Beth Stuckey one, but other times where he's got caught up in his words a little bit and made it sound like the God that, or the Jesus that Mormons worship is the same Jesus that Christians worship. And of course they think they're Christians anyway. But I would say is the creative license. The creative license issue. It's so sad and true that we just already don't have as robust of a grasp of the scriptures as, you know, we need is the way to say it. And so when you get a show that's putting together a story, there's a lot of filling of the gaps that takes place. And because the video avenue of media is so thought shaping, it really starts to you then put that, unfortunately, onto your reading of the scriptures a lot of times. And where that doesn't help is it just starts to put in assumptions where we don't have the explicit explanation in the scriptures. And so that's not solely the reason I just have a lot going on. I don't watch a ton of TV. It's just not been, so that's not, but it's a piece of just the concern that I would give to people who are asking this question, hearing these things is, generally speaking, regardless of, you know, some of these connections with, and funds come from Catholics, funds come from Mormons. Like there's obviously this dynamic that's going on.
The site it's on, Angel
is a
Studios.
Mormon-owned site, right?
Far
So
as
there's
I
all those
understand.
dynamics, but just creative license in general makes it, you need to have some level of caution, just period, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You want to hold to the scriptures and make sure you're judging the show versus the show putting its imposition on your understanding of the scriptures.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. I think that was a part of where I was like, well, I don't think I want to watch this. Just realizing the creative license aspect of it, where I'm like, we don't know how he would have, how he would have, his face would have looked, or the way he would have said something, like the inflection in his tone, or I don't know.
And now that's your only one. And if you don't know the scriptures that well, that's Jesus.
And I was like, I just don't think I've enjoyed any show or video that would like portray Christ. And I'm like, it's just hard. It's hard to not think of like, how do you know that? And so, yeah. Super helpful.
You've been listening to Doxologic, a podcast by Doxa Church in Rockland, California. To learn more, visit us online at doxa.church.